Welcome to Dallas, the home of the killers. Welcome to Dallas, sharks and gorillas. The girls, they going harder than Welcome to Dallas, we lost some legends. Welcome to Dallas, we're hood, you rep it, be careful. You know the rest of the steps.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Poofy Man podcast back again. This is the 20th episode. Everybody, put your hands together for P-Man. Yeah. Probably gonna have to close this season off and start a new one pretty soon, or else it's gonna look like Forensic Files or something. Anyways, today we're gonna bring it back kind of local here because it was an interesting outrage a while back, about a month ago. And yes, it has to do with FIFA, but this is not another fucking soccer one or whatever. It has to do more with how we value art, actually. So, on June 8th of this month, an artist named Robert Weyland, responsible for painting the original whale mural downtown, the now iconic whale mural that is no longer there, he filed a $25 million lawsuit. $25 million. In a lawsuit against FIFA and a couple other companies that cooperated in the FIFA takeover of this wall and ultimate kind of defiling of the wall. And the law that he's citing to do this is the Visual Artists' Rights Act of 1990, which basically just stipulates that, you know, without artists' consent, people can't come in and, you know, defile or erase or destroy certain pieces of art. Now, certain, I don't know exactly what that word entails, but I would assume that if he's filing a $25 million lawsuit, that he probably knows the qualifications for certain. It probably has something to do with just how iconic, how long, and how much it means to the city and all that, which I think it falls under that. And I think that most people, this isn't where the story kind of peaks. So me and my wife, we had left dinner last night. It was lovely. Had some ravioli. Yeah, it was delicious. But on the way back, the reason I'm bringing this up is because on the way back, we happened to drive by this, well, once iconic, you know, wall that had just been left partially finished, painted blue. Like, it looked like someone was stopped in the middle of you know, finishing over the original artwork, the mural, and then just left it. Like the edges are still the whales, but the flush part of the wall is kind of streaky blue, like someone did it real fast, or like a kid needed to put on an extra coat of paint or something, and didn't. But it just left me going like, okay, so are we better off now? So, you know, hear me out. Like, you know, if Weyland was planning on, you know, after filing this lawsuit, if he was planning on repainting, you know, basically updating the mural and repainting what it was lost, you still would think that he would allow FIFA to at least put something up rather than a shitty blue wall, right? Like, okay, how much do you really value art and, you know, just the arts in general if you're just taking your $25 million and running with it? You know, not only that, but if Weyland hadn't planned on refurbishing that wall after the lawsuit or after he had filed the lawsuit, still I think FIFA should have done something. So apparently FIFA just picked up their shit and left. They just destroyed a piece of art and then just removed themselves, just, you know, exited the premises or something. And so now we just have this streaky blue wall. It's like, okay, so who do we now, you know, we were all quick to to blame FIFA for their kind of injunction on Dallas, in all areas, and most definitely in this case. But, after reading about this, I go, is this really somebody, this Weyland's character, is this somebody that we really want to be supporting? It seems to be only in his interest. He doesn't, at first it was, he was attacking FIFA on the premise that they had, defiled his art, but had taken something from Dallasites, from the city itself, because of how iconic this piece was and what it meant to conservation of whales and all these other secondary, tertiary, underlying motifs here. But as soon as he files this, this court injunction, this lawsuit that stands to net him $25 million, which I'm not sure how they're going to really wiggle out of unless they agree off the record to some other smaller sum in cash or something. Now it seems more like that trumps whatever impulse to preserve his artwork that maybe originally was, there. Because I can't figure why you wouldn't at least want to put something up. Now we've just let them tarnish part of downtown. And it doesn't seem, nothing that I found seemed to mention anything about his interest or plans so far to fix it, to go in and, make a better one, or, just refurbish that wall and, for the sake of conservation, you know what I mean? I thought that was the driving force. Doesn't seem to be, though, and so whoever tells you that art doesn't pay, you tell them to fuck off. $25 million. Look, you guys want in on a scam? Let me tell you, you guys just go, paint some murals, claim they're iconic, wait for someone to take them down. And then, under the VARS Act, you can just claim $25 million, because that's what it seems this guy is doing. Anyways, I'd just like to get your idea on who exactly is the villain here. Initially, I think we can all assume it was FIFA. Because the truth is, surprisingly, they didn't ask for his consent. There's no, FIFA doesn't own the wall. It's not like they bought the advertising space or they bought the rights to paint over it. Because if they did, I'm not sure exactly what this Weyland guy could do, but they didn't do that. And they definitely didn't, if they didn't do that, they definitely didn't ask for consent. They didn't mind, taking the time to, call this guy and, ask him about it. But either way, we're out a big mural, because of him. Had he not filed that lawsuit and waited until afterwards, we could have at least had something for the month, for a couple months, until he decided to take it back after the lawsuit was won, or leave it there and just run with the money, but at least we're not left with some disfigurement on our downtown. You know what I mean? And this is the kind of shit I'm talking about. It's like, is it about the art, or is it about the minutia? The legalese and all of that bullshit? Is it about the dollar bills being paid out because of it? I don't know. I'd like to get y'all's take on it, though. The only reason I'm talking about this is because the older I get, the more I care about, the aesthetics of our city. I think there's some correlation between, how well maintained and how well refurbished and how taken care of your city is directly correlated to how people behave in it. So take pride in our city, I guess, a little bit as I've gotten older. So anyways, let me know what y'all think. Who's to blame? Who's the villain here? Because right now it's not looking good, in my opinion, for this John Weyland guy, or Robert Weyland guy. Anyways, as always, this is Poofy Man. Until next episode, signing off.
Welcome to Dallas. Dallas, the home of the killers. Welcome to Dallas, sharks and gorillas. The girls, they going harder than. Welcome to Dallas, we lost some legends. Welcome to Dallas, we're hood, you reppin', be careful. You know the rest.